Good morning, everyone. Please all stand up and let us pray. Before you sit down, please arrange your chairs properly, and then class secretary, please monitor our attendance for today's session, please. So our topic for today is all about the parts of a letter. But before our proper discussion, let me present to you the objectives of today's session. So at the end of this session, the students are expected to determine the different parts of a letter, understand the use and importance of every part of a letter, and then compose their own personal letter. Before we proceed to our proper discussion, let me ask these questions first. Have you ever received a letter, or have you ever wrote a letter to someone? Well then, if yes, I know that all of you have the idea of how to write a letter. I have here an activity which is entitled Guess What. For this activity, your task is to guess a word which corresponds to the image being shown. Take note that this activity is connected to our topic for today, which is about the parts of a letter. So for each item, you will be given 10 seconds to guess the correct answer. Let's start with this activity. For the first item, we have this image. What do you think this image signifies? Correct, it is a letter. For the second item, let us have this image. What do you think is the image being shown? Very good, it is a writer. For the third item, we have correct, it is a message. And then for the fourth item, we have this image. What do you think is the image being shown? Very good, it is a greeting. And then for the last item, we have what do you think this image signifies? Correct, it is a signature. I know that you are all ready for our discussion. So there are 5 essential parts of a letter, namely the heading, the greeting, the body, the closing, and the signature. For the heading, let us use this example. So as you can see, it contains the address of the writer and then the date of the letter which it was written. Next, we have the greeting. The greeting should include the name of the recipient. So as you can see, it starts with a capital letter and it ends with a comma. For example, Dear Rita, it is written in a capital letter and it ends with the punctuation used, comma. Next, we have the body. The body of the letter should contain the main text or the message of the letter. As you can see in our example, all paragraphs are being written in an indented form. For the fourth part, we have the closing. The closing is a word or a phrase which is used to signify the end of the correspondence. As you can see in our given example, it starts with a capital letter and ends with the punctuation used, which is comma. For the fifth part, we have the signature. As you can see, for the signature or the last part of the letter, it includes the writer's name. So if you are writing a letter, you will put your name at the bottom of the closing phrase or the closing word. So for today's discussion, why do you think it is important to know those 5 essential parts of a letter? So those 5 essential parts is important because we can use it if we are going to write a letter or a personal letter. So after our discussion, let us have this activity. So this activity is a writing prompt activity. All you need to do is to fill in the necessary details in order to complete a personal letter.